There's much going on in the country, but to be updated with the latest, you're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. Bringing you the news from the news desk, I am Sandro Satyajit. First, your headlines. Health professionals warn of another drug shortage. Surgeries at the Colombo Eye Hospital suspended. Health Ministry informs to suspend using prednisolone eye drops imported from India. Maximum retail price for eggs declared. On to news in detail now. It is reported that Sri Lanka is likely to face a serious medicine shortage as the Health Ministry has failed to make a payment of 23 billion rupees for suppliers. Now, health experts warn that in the absence of the medicines procured by the Indian credit line, Sri Lanka's entire hospital system would collapse. It is reported that the Health Ministry has failed to make a total payment of 50 billion rupees to medicine suppliers. The Health Ministry said there is an existing issue with regard to anesthetics and other essential medicines. The National Eye Hospital of Sri Lanka has suspended surgeries with immediate effect. The decision was taken after the Health Ministry issued a notice to all hospital directors via WhatsApp to suspend the use of prednisolone imported from India with immediate effect. A spokesperson for the Health Ministry said there was suspicion that the eye drops contained a germ harmful to the eye, and until all medication belonging to the said bath of eye drops are individually tested, the use of prednisolone will be suspended. The National Eye Hospital branch of the Government Medical Officers Association noted that several patients had experienced complications after the said eye drops were used. However, an inquiry is underway to determine how the surgery room was affected. On to other news now. An extraordinary gazette was issued declaring a maximum retail price for eggs.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has set the maximum retail price of a white egg at 44 rupees, while the price of 1 kilogram is set at 880 rupees. The maximum retail price per brown egg is set at 46 rupees, with the price of 1 kilogram set at 920 rupees. The maximum retail price is in effect from Thursday.
Now, this is what the Restaurant Owners Association says about imposing a maximum retail price for eggs and allowing them to be sold according to the weight.
දැන් බිත්තර කිලෝ එක රුපියල් 880ට විකුණන්න තීරණය කරන ගමන් නැවත ගහනවා සුදු බිත්තරේ රුපියල් 44යි කියලා.
They have decided to sell 1 kilogram of eggs at 880 rupees, but they've also said the white egg will be sold at 44 rupees. We don't understand why they would issue a gazette stating that 1 kilogram of eggs will be sold at 880 rupees if one egg is to be sold for 44 rupees. Will the egg farmers also sell their produce at 880? Will the Egg Transport Association also buy to the same price?
මට කියන්නේ කතාව. හරි. මෙන්න සුදු බිත්තර. මෙන්න තරාදිය සීරෝ කරලා තියෙන්නේ ග්‍රෑම් 60යි. 52යි 60ක් කියනවා දැන් බිත්තරයක් එතකොට. දැන් මේ අනුව රුපියල් 44ට ගහලා තියෙන කැසට් එක බලංගු වෙනවද? මොකද්ද මේ 4 බීරි අන්දරේ?
Will the wholesalers and retailers sell for the same price? At what time will the consumer have to purchase this at? This egg weighs almost 60 grams, so this would cost 52.60 rupees. So is the gazette to sell eggs at 44 rupees valid? What is this nonsense? The Consumer Affairs Authority needs to clarify this. What they're trying to do is make profits by importing eggs from India, because those eggs weigh only 35 to 40 grams. So you can have around 20 to 30 of Indian eggs for 880 rupees, but only around 17 of our eggs could be sold for that price.
අන්න ඒ බිත්තර ටික නම් අර හූණු බිජු වගේ ගන්න පුළුවන් බිත්තර 20ක් 30ක් විතර. මේ බිත්තර ගන්න වෙන්නේ 17යි. බලමු කිලෝට යන බිත්තර ගන්න. 1යි 2යි 3යි. කිලෝ 1 ග්‍රෑම් 20යි. හරිද? 897යි වෙන්නේ බිත්තර 17යි. බිත්තර 16ට ගමු බලන්න. ග්‍රෑම් 965යි. රුපියල් 849යි. හරි? ඒතර හම්බෙන්නේ බිත්තර 16යි. ඒතර බිත්තර 10 කියන්නේ රුපියල් 50ක් 52ක් අතර ප්‍රමාණයට ගිහලා තියෙනවා.
Sri Lanka's Catholic Church has planned to march on Thursday to mark 4 years since the 2019 Easter attacks, which fall on Friday. The Catholic Church said justice has not yet been served for the victims of the 2019 April 21st attacks. Reverend Father George Krishantha, the media director of the Archdiocese of Colombo, said the march will commence from the Katuwapitia Church at 9 p.m. on Thursday and is due to arrive at the St. Anthony's Shrine in Kochikade early on Friday morning. The Samruddhi Trade Union Collective alleges that authorities are looting the Samruddhi funds. Joint convener of the movement now, Anura Bandara Ariyaratna, elaborated on the matter at a media briefing in Kurunegala. The government considers the Samruddhi New Year as a campaign for the presidential election. There are employees who have not even received their appointment letters. There are no promotions, there is no cadre, and arrears payments are not made. The money collected by the poor and deposited with the Samruddhi Bank is being looted by the authorities. We requested the Samruddhi Director General and the subject minister to address these issues. They are trying to organize the Samruddhi New Year celebration. That belongs to us. They should respond on how the employee issue will be addressed and how they will stop wasting the funds. If the subject minister cannot conduct his New Year festival, he is a failure and will lose his post. There is no politics involved in the Samruddhi movement. Jagat Kumar can engage in politics and become a minister. We will not allow the Samruddhi to be used for that.
Jagat Kumar දේශපාලනය කරන්න ඔයා ඇමති වෙන්න හැබැයි සමෘද්ධි ව්‍යාපාරය විකුණන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Ceylon Teachers Union today responded to the President Ranil Wickremesinghe's statement on declaring education as an essential service.
දැන් මේ ජනාධිපතිවරයා විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ආචාර්යවරුන්ට සහ ගුරුවරුන්ට මෙවැනි තර්ජනයක් කරන්නේ ඇයි?
Why is the president threatening university professors and teachers like this? What right does he have? Now that we are clearly in the process of negotiation, we are in doubt whether he is going to get this done through intimidation. Now, especially if we want to make education an essential service, there are many things that need to be done. If the president is making education an essential service, he has not given the textbooks for the year 2023 till today. What do you say to the children about it? The Children's Nutrition Project has not been strengthened. What he wants is to show his lion mask. He would like to say that if Ranil Wickremesinghe acts in an anti-democratic manner, the teachers' unions will not be afraid to take action against him. The project to automate the data systems of the National Transport Commission was officially launched in Colombo.
The project to automate the data systems at the National Transport Commission was officially launched in the presence of Minister Bandula Gunawardena.
In order to find out the location of any bus in Sri Lanka, to know the speed at which the bus was travelling and to check whether the other technical standards are maintained, the control room here operates 24 hours a day. The system of regulating the buses is being introduced today. Apart from that, we have informed the Board of Directors, including the Chairman, that the National Transport Commission to take necessary steps to utilize technology by the end of this year so that we can reduce the use of human touch. We hope that through this, all the purchasing information in the sales processes of all the organizations, even the procurement process, will be done with the use of technology. As most of us believe there is only one solution to all the frauds, corruptions, irregularities and inefficiencies in the public sector, and as we see it, it is digitization.
වංචා දූෂණ අක්‍රමිකතා මේ අකාර්යක්ෂමතා සියල්ලට තියෙන්නේ එක විසඳුමයි අපි දකින විදියට ඒ ඩිජිටල් කරන්නේ.
Former Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa hosted an iftar at his official residence located down Vijayarama Mawatha in Colombo.
Iftar is the evening meal of Muslims during the month of Ramadan to break the fast. An iftar was held at the former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's residence, which saw the attendance of diplomats, Muslim religious leaders and others. Minister Ali Sabri PC and MP Rauf Hakim were among those present.
The Senehase Yatravel, organised by the National Movement for Radical Change, will take place for the second day on Thursday. The program is taking place against fraud and corruption.
The Senehase Yatravel will reach Colombo from 6 locations on Thursday, including Kegol, Matara, Putlam, Anuradhapura, Bibila and Ambilipitiya. A program to collect public signatures for a petition took place at the Bibila town.
This is aimed to create a program to minimize fraud and waste that the youth have been calling for. Our demand is the same.
The Senehase Yatravel is expected to reach Colombo on Friday.
The program to plant a tree sampling at an auspicious time commenced at the Agunakola Palassa Agrarian Services Centre.
The program to plant a tree sapling at an auspicious time commenced under the auspices of Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amravira. The Agriculture Secretary Gunadas Amarasinghe and other officials were present as well.
The urea fertilizer concessions will be provided and the Bandi fertilizer will be provided for 4,500 rupees less than the original price. We discussed the matter in Cabinet and I hope approval will be given on Monday. We will also provide a concession of 20,000 rupees for the farmers to purchase fertilizer. If farmers cultivate 2 hectares, we will offer 40,000 rupees. We hope to secure a Cabinet decision next week.
Local farmers were presented with tree saplings and fertilizer at the event.
This is the story of a road in Niger that is in a dilapidated state rather, and that needs immediate attention to avoid a disaster from taking place.
This is the Vehelapala road in Migathena. This road was renovated using concrete some 15 years ago and one section has started to cave in. As a result, the villagers using this road have to exercise extreme caution when travelling in order to avoid a disaster from taking place. Around 300 families use this road daily and they say that this is the only road leading out of the village. The people using this road urge authorities to remove the road as soon as possible.
Now, the following report is about a Pilgrim Rest premises in Ahatuava that has been neglected for years.
This is the Pilgrim Rest premises located not far from the Rest Vihara Vihare in Ahatuva Divisional Secretariat, and it was constructed by the Mahavali Authority in 1980. Devotees and monks visiting the Rest Vihara Vihare use this premises to take a break and rest, and it was opened under the J.R. Jayawardene administration, and unfortunately its present state raises serious concerns. Locals urge the premises be renovated so that it can be used again by devotees and the clergy.
The LOLC Divisoria program, an upliftment initiative aiming to empower our own students, continued today as well. Now, today's program was held in the Anuradhapura district.
The Divisoria program focuses on providing books and stationery items to school students from the most economically challenged regions of Sri Lanka. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC group and the Ministry of Education. Thursday's program took place in the Kapitigolev Education Zone in the Anuradhapura district. School books and stationery were presented to students from 16 schools at the Kapitigolev Zonal Education Office. In addition, students from the Galahitiagama school were also presented with school books and stationery.
In tragic news, a sub-inspector lost his life in a motor accident in the Kaitadi area of Jaffna yesterday.
The accident occurred when the motorcycle of the police officer who was travelling from Jaffna towards Kodikaman collided with a bus travelling in the same direction, and the motorcycle veered off and collided with a lorry coming from the opposite direction. The deceased was identified as a 50-year-old attached to the Kodikaman police station and a resident of Variapula Karabua area. An accident occurred at around 3:45 this morning when a SLTB bus collided with the Vennapur Nainamadama bridge on the Chilau Kalambu road. 10 passengers of the bus sustained minor injuries in the accident. Police said the accident occurred due to the slippery nature of the road with rain. About 2 hours after the incident, a lorry had rear-ended the bus in question.
On to news overseas now. According to Houthi officials and media, at least 78 people have been killed and hundreds injured in a stampede in Yemen's capital.
The stampede happened late on Wednesday as hundreds of people crowded into a school in Sana'a in the hope of getting a charitable donation of about $10 that was being handed out by merchants to mark the final days of Ramadan. Witnesses told the Associated Press news agency that armed Houthis had fired into the air in an attempt at crowd control, apparently hitting an electrical wire which exploded and caused panic among those waiting. The Houthi-controlled Minister of Interior spokesperson Brig Abdul Khalik Al-Agri described the incident as tragic, blaming the random distribution of funds without coordination with local authorities.
According to the United Nations Children's Agency, some 67 million children around the world partially or completely missed routine vaccinations between 2019 and 2021. This was mainly because of lockdowns and the disruption of healthcare caused by COVID-19's pandemic.
UNICEF warned in its annual State of the World's Children report, which was released on Wednesday, more than a decade of hard-earned gains in routine childhood immunization have been eroded and warned that getting back on track would be challenging. The agency said of the 67 million children whose vaccinations were severely disrupted, 48 million missed out on routine vaccines entirely and also warned of the potential for outbreaks of polio and measles. Vaccine coverage among children declined in 112 countries and the percentage of children vaccinated worldwide slipped 5 percentage points to 81%, the lowest since 2008. Africa and South Asia were particularly hard hit.
A press conference on the 89th annual cricket encounter between St. Joseph's College and St. Peter's College, also known as the Battle of the Saints, was held in Colombo on Wednesday.
The press conference to announce the 89th Battle of the Saints, Joe Pete cricket encounter took place in Colombo. Delegates from both schools, including past and present cricketers, sponsors among others, were present.
Joe Pete cricket encounter, more popularly known as the Battle of the Saints, is much awaited event in the college calendar due to the quality of cricket and spirit in which the game has been played and its rich traditions. The standard of the cricket match organized by us is increasing year after year, and we are glad that we are providing the opportunity to many budding players of honing their skills so that they can one day showcase their talents nationally and internationally.
The purpose and the motives behind introducing not just cricket but many extracurricular activities in schools is sadly forgotten, if not totally. Winning at any cost, favoritism, injustice, selfish motives, undercutting, unhealthy competitions, etc. have brought about sour experiences.
The 89th Battle of the Saints, Joe Pete cricket encounter will be played on the 28th and 29th of April at the SSC grounds in Colombo.
That's all the news for now. Stay updated with the latest of news by tuning into our social media pages. That's all the news for now, bringing you the news from the news desk. I am Sandro Sathajit. Take care.